Everywhere you look, national headlines are saying home prices are dropping, but in Raleigh, prices are still rising. In this video, I'll break down why Raleigh, North Carolina, home prices are climbing while other cities fall, what it means if you're buying or selling, and whether this trend continues into 2026. Stick around because this will change how you think about the Raleigh housing market. All right, let's start with the one thing nobody can argue with, the numbers. Because numbers don't lie, and Raleigh's housing market data tells a very different story than the national headlines. As of August 2025, the median home price in Raleigh is sitting at $495,000. That's up about 2 to 3% year over year. Now that's not some crazy spike like we saw in 2021 or 2022, but here's the key. While other cities are seeing prices fall, Raleigh is still moving upward. Even slow growth is growth. Now let's talk about days on market. A year ago, homes were flying off in under 20 days. Blink and you'd miss your chance. Today, the average is 40 days. That's double the time, and that shift matters. It means buyers finally have space to breathe, tour multiple homes, and even negotiate. But here's the important part. Homes are still selling. Sellers aren't slashing prices or panicking. And then there's inventory. This is the kicker. Inventory in the triangle is up 34% year over year. That's one of the largest jumps in the entire country. More homes, more options for buyers. But here's the catch. Demand is still so strong that it's absorbing that extra supply. Instead of flooding the market and crashing prices, it's creating balance. So, while the national media screams about housing corrections and price drops, the Raleigh housing market is holding firm. Prices are steady, demand is consistent, and the data proves Raleigh is one of the most resilient real estate markets in the U.S. right now. Want the full Raleigh home prices market report? Text Raleigh home prices to 919-607-4844. And I'll send it straight to you. If you really want to understand why Raleigh home prices are still rising in 2025, you've got to start with the people. Every single day, 70 plus people move to Raleigh. That's more than 25,000 new residents a year. Imagine dropping a brand new small town inside Wake County every year. That's what's happening here. Where are they coming from? High-cost states like California, New York, Austin, Texas, Illinois, and Florida. They're relocating because Raleigh offers what their markets don't: jobs, affordability, lifestyle, and stability. And here's what makes this different from other U.S. cities. Places like San Francisco, Chicago, and Detroit are losing population. When people leave, demand drops and prices follow. In Raleigh, the exact opposite. Demand grows every single day. That's why prices here don't just hold, they keep nudging upward. This growth isn't random. It's fueled by the Research Triangle Park with employers like Apple, Google, Cisco, and biotech firms pulling in talent from all over the country. And once people come here, they're not leaving. They're planting roots, buying homes, and building communities. So what does that mean for the housing market? Even if mortgage rates go up or inventory rises, steady population growth keeps demand strong. That's Raleigh's safety net. And in Raleigh, that engine is running at full speed. So let's break down the economy next, because that's where the story really gets interesting. All right, let's connect the dots, because people don't just move to Raleigh for the sweet tea and barbecue. They're moving here for jobs, and the jobs here are no joke. The Research Triangle Park, RTP, is one of the largest tech and innovation hubs in the country. Companies like Apple, Google, Cisco, and Epic Games are expanding here. That's thousands of high-paying jobs. Engineers, biotech researchers, tech developers, all coming to the Triangle. But it's not just tech. Raleigh has a diverse economy. You've got Duke Health, UNC, and WakeMed anchoring world-class healthcare. You've got 3 powerhouse universities, NC State, Duke, and UNC Chapel Hill, constantly pumping talent into the job market. And then there's the growth in biotech, clean energy, and fintech. Here's why that matters. Strong jobs equal strong housing demand. When people land a 6-figure salary at Apple or a biotech lab, they're not renting a tiny apartment forever. They're buying a home, Compare that to other cities losing employers or shrinking industries. When jobs leave, housing demand collapses. But in Raleigh, the opposite is happening. Jobs are growing, salaries are strong, and people are planting roots. That's why, even with mortgage rates above 6% and inventory climbing, Raleigh home prices stay stable. The economy is the safety net under this housing market. And here's the setup. If jobs are the engine, housing supply is the gas pedal. Too much or too little supply changes the whole ride. So next, let's dig into inventory, because that's where the balance of power is shifting. Don't guess in this market. Get the real numbers. Text Raleigh home prices to 919-607-4844. Here's the number that changes the game. Inventory. Raleigh's housing inventory is up 34% year over year. That's one of the biggest jumps in the country. More homes on the market means buyers finally have choices. You don't have to settle for the first house you tour, and you don't have to throw $20,000 over asking just to win. Now, what does that mean in real terms? It means fewer bidding wars, more negotiation leverage, and more breathing room. A buyer today can look at 5 homes across Cary, Apex, and Wake Forest and actually compare, something that was impossible in 2021 or 2022. But here's the flip side. For sellers, this is a wake-up call. With more homes competing for eyeballs, yours has to stand out. Pricing it right, staging it, and marketing it aggressively, that's not optional anymore. It's the difference between getting an offer in 30 days or sitting stale at 60+ days. And don't forget, a lot of this new inventory is new construction. Builders in Clayton, 𝐭𝐿𝐴, and Holly Springs are pushing to move homes, which means incentives, discounts, and deals that resale sellers simply can't match. So the bottom line, more supply doesn't mean lower prices in Raleigh. It means smarter buyers and sharper sellers. And right now, this balance is what's keeping the Raleigh market steady while other cities slide. Quick pause. Don't let this market fool you. With more inventory and builder incentives on the table, buyers finally have leverage again. Text Raleigh home prices to 919-607-4844 and I'll send you my free Raleigh home price market report, so you know exactly where the deals are hiding. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: mortgage rates. As of August 2025, the average rate is hovering around 6.3%. That's down slightly from earlier this year when we saw spikes above 7%. And here's why that matters. Every time rates dip even 0.25%, it opens the door for thousands of buyers who are sitting on the sidelines. Now, affordability is still tight. A $495,000 home at 6.3% isn't cheap, but buyers are finding ways to stretch their dollar by looking outside of Cary or Central Raleigh. Places like Wake Forest, 𝐭𝐿𝐴, Knightdale, and Clayton are becoming go-to options where your money goes further. Bigger lots, newer homes, and builder incentives all help offset higher borrowing costs. And here's the kicker: builders are buying down rates. That means instead of 6.3%, you might lock in 5.3% for the first year or two. That's hundreds of dollars a month in savings. So while headlines scream about high mortgage rates, Raleigh's market is proving that buyers adapt, lenders get creative, and deals are still happening every single day. Here's the thing: not all Raleigh suburbs are moving the same way in 2025. Some are red hot and some are just steady. Take Wake Forest. Communities like 𝐮𝐻azentree are delivering larger homes, golf course living, and strong demand, all while staying more affordable than Cary. Apex has master-planned spots like Sweetwater, where location, amenities, and schools keep prices competitive even as inventory rises. Cary continues to dominate resale value, especially in luxury neighborhoods like Weston Estates, where strong schools and prestige keep buyers lined up. Holly Springs blends luxury and lifestyle. At Regency at Holly Springs, you'll find resort-style amenities. Think pools, golf, and social clubs that keep values strong. 𝐭𝐿𝐴 is exploding with growth. Builders like Tri Pointe and David Weekley are keeping it one of the most affordable options close to RTP. And then you've got Zebulon and Clayton, the clear affordability winners. Bigger homes, more land, and builder incentives that cut tens of thousands off the effective cost. Pick the right suburb and you could gain instant equity. Pick the wrong one and you risk overpaying by tens of thousands. All right, let's make this simple. This isn't 2021 anymore. This is a balanced market, and that creates opportunity for both sides. For buyers, you finally have leverage. Inventory is up, homes are sitting longer, 40 days on average instead of under 20 last year. That means you can actually breathe. Tour multiple homes, negotiate on price, and ask for closing cost credits. And if you're looking at new construction, builders are offering concessions, rate buy-downs, appliance packages, upgrades. That's leverage you haven't had in years. For sellers, you still have equity. Raleigh home prices are stable, even inching upward, but you can't just toss out a high number and expect a bidding war. Those days are gone. Now, it's about strategy, pricing correctly, staging your home, and marketing it like a pro. If you do that, you'll win. If you don't, your listing will sit while buyers move on. Here's the bottom line. This is the most balanced Raleigh housing market we've seen in years. Buyers get options and time. Sellers keep value, but both need a plan. And in this kind of market, the people who win are the ones who move with strategy. So here's the truth. While other cities across the U.S. are seeing prices drop, Raleigh and the Triangle are proving resilient. Prices are holding steady, demand is strong, and opportunities are everywhere if you know where to look. If you're buying, this is your window. Inventory is higher, builders are offering incentives, and rates are steady. You've got leverage, options, and the ability to negotiate in ways we haven't seen in years. If you're selling, the game has changed. You still have equity, but pricing, staging, and marketing matter more than ever. The homes that stand out are the ones that sell. Here's what to do next. Text Raleigh home price to 919-607-4844, and I'll send you my full Raleigh home price market report. It breaks down neighborhoods, builder incentives, and strategies most people don't even know about. Drop a comment below. Would you buy in this market now? Or wait, I want to hear your take. And before you go, hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell so YouTube gets this update in front of more Raleigh buyers and sellers. I'm 𝐶𝐤𝐴, AI certified agent, brokered by LPT Realty. Let's make your move the right move. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.